Hi everybody, it's Christy Borden, and I had some more requests for cocktails. So I thought, well, it is Friday and it is after 5 o'clock. Tried to start at 5, technical difficulties. So today I'm gonna have 2 cocktails for you. And I did this yesterday with our Tree Pack trustees. That is the Texas Realtor Political Action Committee group that I am very proud to be a longtime volunteer with, an investor. So I'm gonna do the same cocktails. So if you guys were there yesterday, you get to hear it again. So today we're gonna start with what I dubbed a trustini for my trustees, but basically it's a peach martini. It's not really a martini. All you bartenders out there, I know, but we call it that because it's in a traditional martini glass. But peaches in Texas right now are fabulous, and it's got berries in it, so it's just gonna be perfect. And I'm starting a little sweaty, been out actually selling properties today, so it's been busy. So let's get started. So you always need good equipment. I have a pretty well-stocked bar, and I have a lot of bar accessories. And actually when I go to people's houses and I know they're gonna have me help them with drinks, and I'm not a professional bartender at all, but I always bring my own stuff because people don't have what I need. So as a service to people that are gonna help you with drinks, you need to get a well-stocked bar and a lot of good equipment. And if you need to know what's in a well-stocked bar, give me a call or put a question below in the comments and I'll help you. So shaker, we're gonna start off with a glass. Now normally I would put ice in here and maybe a little water and let this chill. We're not gonna do it for today for demonstration purposes, but always top it off. You'll notice I have a rim around the glass, and I like, for any of my fruity drinks, I always put a rim on there, and this rim is my little special concoction, which I'll share because it's delicious. I always put super fine sugar, and actually bartenders use a really fine sugar, but the finest sugar you can find. A little bit of granular salt. Don't use kosher salt or the sea salt, they're just too chunky. And the secret is a tiny, tiny bit of cayenne pepper. I know, what, cayenne? But that combination brings out the fruit, the sweetness. It's just wonderful, and it goes with just about any fruity martini that you can have. So, already pre-rimmed, I put a little bit of lemon juice and drizzle that into my sugar mixture. Have that pre-made, you can use it all the time. So, for this drink, first we're gonna do is you can use either gin or vodka. It is, what is your preference? I'm a vodka girl, but I like gin as well. I'm gonna do gin today, and this is Hendrick's. It's a nice gin. I like it. It's very neutral. It's wonderful. I love it. But first we're gonna start with peaches. So it says use about, my recipes use about 2 or 3, 4 slices of peaches. You don't have to peel them. These are fresh peaches, popping in there. And then we're gonna add some raspberry, fresh raspberry. Mostly for color, a little bit for the sweet and the flavor, but it just makes it so nice. And then we're gonna add a bit of citrus. Now, I always like the 3-1-1 rule for cocktails. 3 parts alcohol, 1 part citrus, and 1 part sweet, simple syrup, whatever your sweetener is. So today I'm going to, this is fresh squeezed lemon juice. Try to say that 3 times. And then for your sweetener, simple syrup. Now before I've told you guys, you can buy simple syrup. Like I have this has been at my bar forever. I will never use it. But I don't even know why I have it. It's so easy to make. It's 1 part sugar, 1 part water. Heat it up. You can do it in the microwave. You can do it on the stove. Melt the sugar. Let it cool. Simple syrup. That's why it's called simple syrup. So we're trying to do a bit of keto. So I'm using a sweetener. I've got this one. I've got this one. So if you're trying to cut the carbs a little bit, you can cut the simple syrup and use a sugar substitute. And for all those out who are saying they're not good for you, oh well, probably the vodka and gin isn't either. So now that I have in there, I'm gonna muddle that. So, and I realize my camera's a little crooked. So yes, it's the camera, it's not me. But you see what I'm doing is, this is called a muddler. I have a bunch of them, and I like this one because it's got that end that really gets in there and pulverizes the fruit a bit. And what I'm doing now is just breaking down the meat of the peaches and the berries. Release that beautiful color and flavor. I'm going to add my alcohol now. We did, remember, 3, 1, 1. So we're going to do 3, 2. Now, a lot of bartenders will tell you that the actual percentages you should use are 2 parts alcohol, 3/4 part sweet, 3/4 part your sour. But that's a lot of math. So I think 3, 1, 1 works just fine for me. So now we've got this. The only thing I'm going to add to this is just, I really love bitters. This is orange bitters, a couple shots of that. I always think of bitters are kind of like your seasoning in your cabinet, or your salt, your sugar, your salt. So I'm going to crack some ice on this. And we're going to give it a shake. Now this is going to be noisy. I'm sorry about that. And look, I'm getting more crooked. My gimbal's just fading. But play along with me, shake along with me you like. I would like to give it about 15 good shakes. And you are shaking it primarily to chill it, of course. But also you're shaking it to dilute it just a bit. You don't want a lot of dilution, but you do want some. Now we're going to strain. Simple strainer, have a bunch of them. Our glass. Now this is a very large pour, like I like it. I love this martini glass because it is beautiful, it's big. If you have little tiny glasses, you don't want to fill them to the brim, people are going to spill. So get a big glass. I do have a little bit of a collection back there. But this is a Peach Raspberry Martini, made with gin. You can make it with vodka, and I'm happy to put the recipe below. I do have one more recipe after this, but cheers. That's pretty good. So now we're moving, because I get complaints that I never do anything with bourbon. And mainly, I'm not really a bourbon girl. I really do like the clear liquors better, but I found one I do like, so I'm going to share it with you. And this one will be stirred. So this is a double old fashioned glass. It's a nice, generous size as well. And we're going to start with, get a new mixer. And we're going to do blackberries. Blackberries are gorgeous right now. Gosh, they're just beautiful, and they have such a wonderful color. We're going to pop some blackberries in there. And for my simple syrup, I did something special. I actually steeped sage in simple syrup. So this is a sage simple syrup, very easy. Make simple syrup as you normally do, but add a couple fresh leaves of sage. I'm not measuring, but it's gonna be about 1 ounce. And this drink can be a bit sweet, so you can back off a bit on the sugar because we don't really have that citrus element in this. Again, we have bitters. I love those orange bitters. I'm popping that in there. And we snuck Danny's really good bourbon, so shh, don't tell him. He has about 30 bourbons back here. I didn't know which one to do, but I know this one's good. So we're gonna do, since we don't have a citrus element, I'm just gonna do about 2.5 parts of this bourbon. So we have blackberry, sage, simple syrup, bitters, and bourbon. And more ice. So we're gonna give this, actually we're gonna stir this instead of shake it up. So this is a cocktail mixer. I don't know if you can see it. I absolutely love it. So it's really nice. You can give a gentle stir. It's actually very pretty, and it doesn't Doesn't dilute the drink very much, but it still gives it a nice chill. And a secret that I have that bartenders know is you don't serve your drink with the ice that you chilled it with, because that ice is starting to break down. It's not beautiful. And I like this with crushed ice. So I grabbed some crushed ice already for you guys. So, and I realized, look at me. I didn't break down, I didn't muddle my berries. How silly of me. Let's do that real quick, because otherwise it was just a bunch of blackberries floating around in alcohol. I knew the color wasn't right. See, even I make mistakes. Not many. You didn't see it. So, all right, let's try that again. There we are. That's the color I was looking for. Sorry about that. So we give this little stir. Again, we're gonna strain. This is a nice strainer for this. Strain it into the glass. You're straining out all those bits of berry and sage. And then all I do is I dress it with an extra blackberry, and I dress it with another piece of sage. Which one is more Texas than sage? I mean, it's even in our state song. So, this is a Blackberry Old Fashioned, basically. And again, I'm sorry I'm tilted so much. But you guys, thanks for hanging in. Cheers. Hope you enjoy it. It's pretty good. And I'm happy to supply the recipe. And you guys are great for being slanted. Have a good evening.